Today, let's create a vision board in Canva. So from the Canva home screen, we'll go to custom size, and I'm going to choose this one here, 3508 by 2480. You'll need to type it in here. So we'll create new design. From here, let's go to elements and we'll go to photos, and I'm going to type in corkboard. I'll just choose this one here, and I'll right click and say set image as background. Now the next thing we can do is to type in under photos wood photo frame, and I'll scroll down and I'm going to choose this one here. Now we can remove the background, and then if we size this up, we'll find it's just slightly too small, but because it's only a little bit, then we can just go to crop and then hold down shift and make sure it's set to freeform. Bring this first level down so it just goes to the bottom of the page, and then this second one down, make sure it goes all the way to the bottom of the page, and then we can click done, and we'll see that the frame now covers the whole page because it's been stretched a little bit. Now if we want to add in just a little bit of shadow between the frame and the board, we can click on the frame, go to edit, go down to shadows and click on glow. Scroll down, just make sure it's set to black. You might want to put the intensity up a little bit, and then you can simply enlarge this again so the edges of the board go off the screen, but you're left with the dark line between the board and the frame in the middle. Now we want to add in some bits to the vision board, so I'm going to click the cross here and I'll type in torn paper, and under graphics we'll click see all. I'll just take this one here, and then I'm going to add some text to this, but I'm also going to stay under graphics and I'm going to type in 2026 handwritten, and then you can scroll down and have a look at some of the styles. I'm going to go for this one here, so I'll click on that, and now you can click on the black here and you can change the color of that. So if I just change it to red like this, go to the color wheel up here, and then you can make it a bit of a darker red just by moving this dot around here. So I'll leave it about there, enlarge it a bit, center it on the paper, and then with it selected, hold down shift and select the paper behind, and then group them, and then just shrink it, and you can just put it in the corner up here. You might want to give it a slight angle. Now under graphics, let's put in board pin, and you'll see there's different pins that you can select from. I'm going to choose this one here, and then you can just make it a bit smaller and then just place it on top of the paper there. So that's the first item on the vision board. Now I want to add in a little bit about exercise to the board, so I'm going to go and find a couple of pictures. So click the cross under graphics here, go down to photos and click see all, and then we can type in jogging. Going to scroll down, going to take this image here, so click on that, and now the next thing I want to do is to crop it in a little bit, maybe not quite that far, just a little bit out, and then type in magazine overlay, go to graphics, see all, and then just take one of these overlays. You can scroll down to have a look at some of the other ones. I'm going to try this one here, and you can see that it puts the magazine overlay over the image, and then you can just expand it like this, and if you want to, you can click on crop or zoom out a little bit and just crop it in to fit over the picture exactly, and click done. Now we want to go to position, go to layers, click on the overlay and hold down Control and click on the image, then right click and say download selection and just download it at this size. Now upload that new image and you can delete the other two that you've just had. Now go to elements, click the cross and go down to frames and just type in torn paper, and we'll choose this one here, and then you can just take this image and drop it into the frame. And if you want to change how it lies in the picture at all, you can go to crop, and again you can just resize the image to however you want it to look in the frame and wherever you want his head to be, and then click done. Now I'm going to move this over here and just shrink it a little bit. You may want to change the angle slightly, and then we'll go to position and make sure that layers is selected and just drop him in under the 2026 so he's just coming out from underneath. We're going to do this with another photo now, so we'll go to elements and under photos we'll put in lifting weights. Scroll down until you find a picture that you want to use. I'm going to go for this one here, and we're just going to repeat the process by going and finding an overlay, overlaying it over this image, selecting both and downloading selection. So sometimes if you click on one it will come up, but it will also give you some magic recommendations here. So we can click on see all and it will give you more options to choose from for an overlay. So I think I'm going to try this one here. We can delete the first one that came up, and again you can just use the turning point here to turn that around, bring it in to the size that you're looking for, position, hold down Control so you can select them both, right click and download selection. I'll go for this one here. Crop so you can just resize it a bit, and then we'll just make that one a bit smaller, place it under there too, go to position, make sure the 2026 is above that and also the pin. Now what we can do now is to go back to elements, we'll click on graphics, and I'm going to type in here, I need the word exercise in a magazine cutout format for my vision board. So I'm going to put this in the description of the video. So I'm going to click on the purple button here, and then I'm going to click on generate graphics. So it's taken about a minute to generate these. I'm going to click on this one down here because exercise is spelt correctly. That one's good, but it's not spelt right. So we'll go for this one. And now what we can do is we can go to edit, go down to shadows, go to outline and create a nice big outline around it, and you can change that outline to whatever color you want, but I'm going to go for white. I'll make it a bit smaller again, just turn it, and I'll put that just over the top here. You need to be careful that it doesn't drop into the frame, but if you're careful you should be able to do it. And what you may want to do is to zoom in a bit and just add in some more pins. So we'll go back, we'll go to elements, and then we'll type in board pins. We'll go to graphics, and this time we might want to choose a different color. What you could try is to click on the three dots here and say see more like this, and you'll get some different style pins come up. So we could perhaps go for this one here, and again I'll go on the three dots, see more like this, and you'll probably get some different colors of that same kind of pin come up. So I think I'm going to go for this one here, a blue one, make it smaller. I want it around the same size as the other pin however, so then we'll just put that one in there, and then we may want another color perhaps, just to show how some of these elements are all holding together. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put some bunting letters over here. So again, under graphics, we'll put in bunting. We'll scroll down. Now there's obviously plenty of different types of bunting here, but I'm going to go for this one because it's got 5 triangles on it, 5 flags, because I'm going to write the word goals on it. And so we can just turn this around a little bit. We'll just put it in the corner here, and you can see that you can actually change the colours of this, so I think I will change them a bit. Instead of the dark brown, we'll go for perhaps a purple colour. Light brown, we'll have a pink. Just make them all just a little bit brighter. We'll keep it like that. Just zoom in. Now I want to put the word goals on here, so I'll go to text, add a heading, and I'm going to change the font to Sniglet, and I'm just going to type in a capital G. Now I'll bring it over to the bunting, and I'm just going to fit it onto the first letter. So something like this, and I want to get the text lined up with the string above, so like this. And I'm going to just highlight the text, and I'm going to change it to white on this occasion. Now we can duplicate, so we've got the text at the same size, which is size 142. And we can move along. And what you want to do with each letter is you're going to have to turn it a little bit so it's parallel to whatever flag that it's on at the time. And try and get the distance between the letter and the top of the flag the same on each one. Zooming in just gives you a bit more accuracy. So you can see how there's a similar distance at the top. You're keeping it parallel to the flag, and then you can move on to do the rest of the letters as well. So there's our bunting letters on there. Now let's add a couple more photos. So first of all, I'm going to go back to Elements, and then under Photos, I'm going to type in woman at Mount Pinatubo crater. And on this occasion, I was looking for a specific picture, which is this one here, but obviously your one can be different. I'm just going to crop this down. So it's around about the dimensions of a normal photo, and then we'll just make it a bit smaller, change the angle. Now we'll just put it here on the bunting, but then we want it to be behind the bunting as well. So go to Position, go to Layers, and just make sure that this is below the bunting and below all of the letters on the bunting. Now you could give this a little bit of a shadow this time if you want to, so just click on it, go to Edit, go down to Shadows, and click on Drop Shadow. And you may want to increase the intensity of that, just to make it show up a little bit more. Now I'm going to look for another photo, which will be woman wearing coat holding pencil. Scroll down, we'll take this one here. Now I'm going to make this a little bit squarer, so I'll just bring it in there and make it smaller. Give it a bit of an angle. Now I'm going to have one more cutout image, so I'm going to go to Photos again, put in kayaking. I'll scroll down. I'll take this dramatic image here, click on that. I'm going to go to flip horizontal, and now I'm going to go back to frames so I can find another torn paper frame. I'm going to go for this one here and put the photo inside of that, and again you can change it by using the crop button if you want to. Then click done, and I'm going to put this one down the bottom here. I'm also just going to place it behind this image here, so I'll click on that, go to Position, and we'll put this image in front of the kayaking one. Now I'm going to add in a animal, so we'll go to photos again, and I'm going to type in dog running towards camera. Scroll down, I'm going to go for this one here. This could be a family pet perhaps, and then we'll just crop it in a little bit. Say remove background, make it smaller. I'll place the dog over here, and perhaps also go to edit, and we'll give it a little bit of a dark glow. So click on glow, make sure it's set to black, and just increase the intensity a bit. Now it's time to put some letters in. So I'm going to go back under photos, go to graphics, and type in motivation, and scroll down, and you'll see that there's lots of different types of text that you could add to the board. So I'm going to have this one here, progress not perfection, as kind of the key message for this particular board, if it's your key message for the year perhaps. We'll put that in the middle. May want to give it a little bit of an angle too. Scroll down, see what else we can find. Now if we choose this one here, it doesn't have a white background to it, but you can add one pretty easily by just going to edit, again go to shadows, click on outline, change the outline to white, and then just put the size all the way up. That'll give it its own white background, and we can just place that here. See if we can find other text, perhaps just one more. Do amazing things. Again, we can give that a background as well. Let's go to shadows, outline, make sure it's white, and put the size all the way up. Then we can just change the angle of that, place it in this top corner here. Now I'm also going to type in the word love under graphics, scroll down, I'm going to choose this text here, and I'm going to give this a background as well, and I'm going to put it over this side over here near to where the dog is. You can also create your own text, so just to show you how to do that, we'll go to text, then we'll go add a heading, and we'll change the font this time to Alice, and I'm going to type in never give up in capitals. Select it all, I'll choose a dark blue colour. Now one thing you could do to give this a background is to click on the text and go to effects and outline, but when you put the outline all the way up it doesn't necessarily join all of the words together, it's not quite big enough. So again, the best way to sort that out would be to duplicate this text, put the second one over the first one exactly, go to position, click on the first, hold down Control and click on the second, right click, download selection, download with a transparent background, and click download. Upload that new one and delete the first two that you've got. Now this new one here is an image, so we can go to edit, go down to shadows and outline, put the outline all the way up or to where you want it to be, so all the letters are now joining up fine. And I'm going to give this more of a creamy yellow background, so I'll take this onto the yellows and then just take it about up here, so it's not quite white but it's creamy yellow. I'll make that a bit smaller, give it a slight angle, and I'll just place it down the bottom here. Again, we don't want to end up dropping it into that frame, but we want to get it close enough. Now there may be some other bits that you want to add to this board for decoration, so we could go to elements. For example, we could type in butterfly under graphics, perhaps choose something like this one here, and this may even be an element that you could have actually poking over the side of the board as if you've just pinned it on, something like that perhaps. Another thing you might want to do is to add in some jewels, so you can go to heart jewel, take something like this, add it in at the center somewhere like that. You can find other ones, say like moon jewel, just use one of these, Add it in the bottom there. And of course, finally, you may want to put some more pins in, so you can duplicate the pins and pin them in where you want them to go on different elements of your design. But that's how to create a vision board in Canva. I hope this tutorial has been helpful for you today. Please do subscribe to the channel to learn more about Canva.